Hi guys, I'm gonna stay live for a minute.
Grab that mop. I got something, bitch. I don't know if you guys have seen these before, but this is gonna help you take your
I am not your bitch. Fuck the Congress, fuck the legislature.
Okay, here's what I got to say. I was in a live stream on here on TikTok on the internet, and they were talking about the Social Security and how they can get rid of Social Security. Donald Trump said he was going to lower our taxes, and I think what he was doing was talking about I'll be back with my statement as soon as okay. I'm gonna turn this on. Okay. I gotta put some lip gloss on. My lips are dry. If you needed me, all you had to do was come get me. Don't look at me. See how there's a bald spot right there? That's from... Okay. Now, what was I saying? Okay. They explained how he could lower our taxes, and it's going to be our Social Security. They're going to stop taking that tax out of our paychecks, and we're going to keep it. But when we keep it, it's going to mean that we don't get Social Security when we're older, and we've paid into it. That means anybody on Social Security is going to get cut back because they don't have our Social Security to pay for it. Every generation pays for the people that are on it now, like the old people. And then when you get it, the younger people pay for you. So if we're not paying for it, we're going to use it all up, and there ain't going to be any for people when we go to retire. So we're going to end up being with no Social Security and no way to retire. Because there's no way anybody could save enough money in their work lifetime and pay all the bills they got to pay right now to be able to pay for 10 to 30 years of being retired. Because if people retire at 60 and they live to be 90, that's 30 years. If they live to be 80, that's 20. They live way over. Most people retire at 60 something years old and live for about 20 to 30 years. We can't afford to pay for 30 years of living with our savings. And if we do, there won't be nothing. We'll be living, and if we do, we're going to have to live very frugally, and we won't have hardly anything. We'll just be able to pay our bills, and that's it. We won't get nothing extra. We'll have to scrimp for food. We'll have to scrimp for clothes, and we'll barely be able to take care of ourselves. That's what will happen if we have to live off our savings, because most people aren't going to have it. That's something we don't want. We just don't want it. We want to pay that Social Security tax because it pays for us to be retired. You can't live for 30 years without it. That's just a long time to live. Most people can't save 30 years of income. Can you save? We're going to need a minimum of 24,000 times 30. I don't think we can save that kind of money. How many of y'all think you can save? Wait. 2,000 a month to live off of times 12 times 30. How many of y'all think you can save over $500,000? Save $75,000, $700 and some $1,000. It's gonna take about $700. It's gonna take about $700,000.
This is a reminder. Watch Josh on Twitch.
Okay, it's gonna cost somebody $750,000 to live on for 30 years, and that's living off of $2,000 a year. And if you get that, and if you have that, and if you have that much money, the government won't give you food stamps or anything, or health care, or nothing. Nothing. You cannot have that kind of money to get any government help. Not even you can't even have $10,000 in the bank to get government help. They won't give it to you. And if you're living dated, and if you only got about $2,000 to live off right now, you ain't gonna be able to save $2,000 a month for 30 years. There ain't no way. You would have to save $2,000 a month for 30 years just to be able to have enough to live. So when you die, so when you retire, from the day you retire to the day you pass away, that's how much money you're going to need minimum to live, to support 30 years of living. And that's living on the low end. That's living on the minimum amount of money. That's the truth. We'll never be able to okay, so say you work for 40 years. Most people are not going to be able to make that much money. Most people don't. A lot of people don't make much more than that. You know, your amount of money is based on how much money you earned. So if I work from 20 years to 60, that's 43 or 44 years. And I live another 30 after that. You know, it's not, you know, that's why I work. Because without working, you don't pay Social Security. Without paying into Social Security, when you do go get that old, they'll give you the minimum, which is probably $700 a month. And that will not even get you an apartment. That will get you a Section 8, and that's really hard to get.
You've got mail.
So, that's the one thing that most people can't afford to save $2,000 a month per person living in their household. That's going to be living in their household. it costs a minimum of $24,000 to support yourself for a year. And that's without a car. That's without a car and living minimally living. That means not buying a lot of excess stuff that's expensive. Social Security will be able to give you what you need. Social Security will be able to give you what you need because they'll be able to, they'll have enough. Because they'll have enough. Because there'll be people paying way more. There's people that'll be making way more. You get it based on the 30 best years working. So the most you made in them 30 years, you'll get it based on that. So if you didn't pay in very much for a long time, you're probably not going to get a lot. But if you get more, it's because you paid in more. Okay, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, I went and looked it up. You have to go to the library and pick them up. And I think you have to take them back. And not every library participates in it. Because I thought Dolly Parton's thing sent people books. Because I was going to sign my nephew up for it, because books are expensive. What's hurting people buying physical books? This is just me as a person, is that likes to read ebooks. Being able to get free ebooks. If you can find enough free ebooks on, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get free ebooks. And a lot of times there's free books, period, on the internet for free. That there's a lot of book things that you pay one subscription fee. There's a lot of these things that are, there's book things out there. This is what hurts physical books. People that read people that want to buy physical books, is the cost of it. And the reason the cost of it is so high, because there's subscription things like, the reason people don't want to buy them is because they can pay for a subscription fee and get ebooks. If you got a tablet, like I got a Samsung tablet, you can do it on any iPad, any tablet, even an iPad, or your phone, and read. But you can get the app. There's apps you can get. And those apps will let you pick books and download them and read them. And as long as you got the subscription fee paid for, which usually they're like $10 a month, you can read all the books you can for that $10 a month. And then you don't have to take the book back to the library. You're paying to read that book, and you don't have to keep it. You don't have to have a shelf to store it. And as long as you have that subscription fee, you can read all the books you want. And now we have things like, another thing we have now is if you've got Spotify Premium, you can get audiobooks. Things like that are hurting the book industry because now people don't buy books I noticed books don't. I work in a store that sells used books, and we do not sell as many as we could, and that's the reason why. If you've got Prime, and you've got any kind of tablet, you don't need Prime. Okay, Kindle gives you free books. Like right now, I'll show you what. I'll explain to you what kind of free books you can get. This is why. Barnes & Noble gives you free books too, all the time. You can get a lot of books for $1 or less. You can get a lot of books for $1 or free. Like library, home. Okay. Okay. You can pay for Kindle Unlimited, or you can pay for Prime Reading. Like, let's see. The Quarry Girls. I'll just pick that as an example. This book is free to read if you have Prime. If you have Prime Reading, it's free to read. And how much is Prime Reading? Probably not that much. Ebooks. Books like Crime and Punishment, The Scarlet Letter, The Time Machine, those are all free Kindle editions. Read and listen for free. You can borrow up to 10 titles at a time, and you currently have 10. To borrow this title, there's a lot of stuff you just have to get rid of. Like, I'm going to read Artemis Fowl because I like the movie so much. You can get lots of books for free. You only get 10 downloaded at a time. Oh my god, that was crazy. Like, it hurts being able to sell used books. When a used book is $2.50 and a new book when you can get a newer book like the Hunger Games and shit like that, people have already read. The stuff that people really want, they don't get unless you've just never read it and you wanted to. That book was really good, though. Let me see if they got them kind of books. The Hunger Game. Most people that wanted to read The Hunger Games or Twilight's already read them. That's why there's so many copies of those books, because people are getting rid of them now because they've already read them. you know, $36 points. How do you use your points to get it? They say... I want to read. I like to read, and ebooks are fine. I just like to read them better on my tablet because they're easier to read. Some you can listen to, some you have to actually read. There's Kindle Unlimited, and then there's... Let me see what they're called. There's Kindle. There's Prime. What's it called? Prime Reading. There's Prime Reading books, and then there's Kindle Unlimited, where you can read unlimited amounts. Prime Reading gives you 10. Kindle Unlimited gives you unlimited reads for a month. That's different. The buying of CDs has gone down. The buying of physical, anything that they switched over to digital has kind of hurt the physical sales, because when you hurt physical sales, someone like me or you that could sell it to them is in the store that sells that stuff. They no longer have that anymore. And when they no longer have that anymore, then it's really hard to sell that stuff and have a store to sell that stuff, if that makes any sense to you guys whatsoever. That's what I'm trying to explain. So what's everybody doing tonight? I guess no, I really wish that we could sell physical, because physical makes more money. And you can get used. Like when a book's $19 at the store and somebody's already read it, and they can sell it at a garage sale for $1 or 50 cents because they just want to get rid of it, and you can score a book like that. That's a lot. But when you're done with books, you should get rid of them so other people can read them. This lipstick's really light. My niece says these shades are too light for me. I'm gonna stop being live because nobody's in here.